Hello everyone. Welcome to today's video where we're going to study the poem The Squirrel by Mildred Bowers Armstrong. The squirrel is a rodent, that is, a small, medium-sized animal. There are various types of them like the tree squirrel, ground squirrel and flying squirrel. The beauty of a squirrel lies in its tail, which has been beautifully described by the poetess. But before we delve into the poem, let us learn a bit about the poetess first. Mildred Bowers Armstrong was born on 11th November 1930. She titled her first volume of poetry Twister Smoke after the pseudonym she used in college. Twister Smoke won the 1928 Yale Younger Poets Prize and was published by Yale University Press. She also won National Medal of Science in the year 1990 and IEEE Founders Medal in the year 2004. Now, let us study the poem. The Squirrel. You may have seen a squirrel sitting on the ground eating a nut. What did it look like? Here is a poet's description of just such a squirrel. He wore a question mark for tail, an overcoat of grey. He sat up straight to eat a nut. He liked to tease and play. And if we ran around his tree, he went the other way. The poetess describes a little fun-loving creature, that is, the squirrel. He wore a question mark for tail. The squirrel's tail looks like a question mark, which is a commonly used punctuation mark that comes at the end of an interrogative sentence. Also, looking at the squirrel, we might say it was asking a question. An overcoat of grey. The squirrel is wearing a long overcoat reaching the tip of its tail. An overcoat. Overcoat here is being referred to as the grey, soft skin and silky fur of the squirrel. And then the squirrel starts eating nuts. He sat up straight to eat a nut. The squirrel sat up straight and was eating nuts. He liked to tease and play, and if we ran around his tree, he went the other way. The poetess says this cheerful creature loves to hop around, likes teasing and playing, and when the poetess and her companions ran around the tree following him, what does the squirrel do? Out of fear, the squirrel goes in the opposite direction, and when it begins to run, its tail appears like the bushy end of a painter's brush, doesn't it? Now that we have gone through the poem, let's have a look at the rhyme scheme and poetic devices. The rhyme scheme of the poem is A, B, C, B, D, B. Now, the poetic devices. The first one is personification. As he is used for the squirrel. Personification is when you give an animal or an object the character traits of a human. The second one is alliteration, which is letters of alphabet. The words having same first consonant sound which occur close together in a series. Here, sat up straight. The sound of letter S is repeated. Let us answer the questions now. The first question is, why does the poet say the squirrel wore a question mark for tail? Draw a squirrel or find a picture of a squirrel sitting on the ground. How would you describe its tail? Answer. The poet said that the squirrel wore a question mark for a tail in order to make us think that the squirrel puts on a tail like clothes and its tail is twisted, appearing like a question mark. Moving on to the second question. Do we usually say that an animal wears a tail? What do we say? Think, does an animal wear a coat? Consult a dictionary if you like and find out how wear is used in different ways. Answer. We usually say that an animal has a set of given characteristics rather than saying wear to indicate the external characteristics of the squirrel. The dictionary meaning of wear suggests something of an outer covering, for instance, clothes. Question number 3. He liked to tease and play. Who is teasing whom and how? Answer. The squirrel is a naughty, playful animal. It loves to be chased by others. When the poetess and her friends ran around the tree on which the squirrel was sitting, it went the other way, teasing them and playing with them. Now, here is an exercise on rhyming words. Pick out rhyming words from the cloud and write them in the blanks below. The first one is grey, way, tail, nail, nut, hut, tree, free, play, may. With that, we come to the end of today's video.